The first tip is cleaning from the top to the bottom and from the left to the right, and you're gonna do this simultaneously. When I first started cleaning, I was going all over the place. I was sort of like the Tasmanian devil, and I wasn't getting everything done, and I was spending so much more time, I was forgetting things. It was kind of ludicrous. So when I learned about this top to bottom, left to right business and I started implementing it, I really noticed a change. And if you don't clean this way now, you should totally give it a try, and it's really easy to do. Dust and dirt falls from the top to the bottom. So when you're wiping something, obviously you're gonna have schmutz fall from the top to the bottom. So you wouldn't wanna clean your counter first, only to clean your cupboard and then have all the crumbs from the cupboard fall onto your clean counter. Now when it comes to working your way from left to right or right to left, you pick, just be consistent. It means that you're never going to skip a spot. So that way I know every corner, every section of the room is going to be cleaned because I'm working in this consistent manner. And that way, when you're cleaning, you always know you have a pattern, you commit it to memory, and you get everything done very efficiently and effectively.
Over at Makers Clean, our annual summer sale is about to kick off. And if you want to get early access, head over to makersclean.com today and subscribe to our Makers Insider newsletter, which will give you access to special discounts, product drops, and for the next week, we'll also include a link to a free download of our comprehensive weekly cleaning checklist and guide. That's makersclean.com, and I've got a link for you down below.
When we leave a client's home, they not only expect it to look clean, they expect it to smell clean. I think smell is a really good clue, because if your house doesn't smell great, it means that there's something going on. Maybe your fabric needs to be refreshed, or there was an accident that happened on there. If you have like a rotting smell coming from a part of your home, you have to act like a police dog, and you really need to sniff around and figure out what's going on so you can find the source of that odor, deal with it, and get rid of it. Because once you do, your house will actually start to smell a lot better. Point is, use your nose, figure out the problem, and make it right. There's DIY or homemade cleaning products, and then there's store-bought or specialty products. And I want to make a case for both. In our house, about 60% of the cleaning products that we have are DIY. They're pantry-based cleaning products that we've whipped up. They're safe, they're easy, they're cost-effective, and generally, they work pretty well. In the same breath, I'm gonna tell you that store-bought cleaning products are equally as important, because sometimes they have formulations or they're able to do things that you simply cannot whip up in your kitchen. And I don't like wasting my time when it comes to cleaning, so I want to get a product that is designed to do the job well and efficiently and quickly. When I finally decided to start doing this, I would take all of the products to the center of the space that I was cleaning in that moment, so that way I wasn't running back and forth. It is a big waste of time, and guys, I used to time myself, and it made a big difference. So the next time you're going to clean a particular room or space in your home, get all of the products and tools that you need ahead of time. You can just think about it quickly. Get everything in the center or a very easily accessible space within that area or room, and then get to your cleaning. This is a trick that I learned from home stagers many years ago. So this parallel perpendicular business is actually really helpful. It makes any surface look super tidy and clean and pleasing to the eye. So not only do you now have a clean surface, you also have a tidy surface. So your space looks super clean. Here's what you need to do. Find your items, pile them up, declutter them, whatever it is, and line everything up to the edge of the surface that the item is sitting on, either in a parallel fashion to the edge or a perpendicular fashion to the edge. And that way, you've got these nice, clean, straight angles, and that's very pleasing to the eye, and it looks clean. Before I started my cleaning company and I would watch cleaning commercials, this is what you would see. And you know what? That's not real life, guys. That is not the way it works. Because when I was doing my cleaning company and I did that and wiped, I was like, hello, this product doesn't work. You're actually supposed to let a product dwell or sit for a certain period of time. And that has two main effects. The first one is that the product will clean something. It just needs time to do its work. And that goes for DIY products as well as store-bought products. Now, the second reason it's important to do this is because if the product has a disinfecting property to it,
the product's gonna need between 5 and 10 minutes to actually kill that bacteria. So if you're using the product, apply it, let it sit there for a few minutes, then wipe it off. That way you're getting the clean that you want and the disinfecting that you need.
Stains happen all the time and you've got to catch them quickly. But what do you catch them with? Well, you can make your own stain remover. This one is very reliable. The caveat is that you have to whip it up on demand. It's 2 parts hydrogen peroxide to 1 part dish soap. So you can do 2 teaspoons hydrogen peroxide, 1 teaspoon dish soap, whatever the volume of the stain is, just whip it up on demand. Hydrogen peroxide becomes unstable as it gets poured out of its brown bottle. So you've got to only use it on demand so it works well. Now, if you don't want to make up your own, you can also have a store-bought product on hand. I have a couple that I go to. OxiClean is a great one. They've got a ready-made spray, as does Puracy. OxiClean is obviously an oxygen bleach-based product. Puracy is an enzyme cleaner-based product. Both work really well. The point is you've got to treat your stain as soon as it hits so that you have the best chance of getting rid of it. The next time you go to tackle a toilet, try this first. Roll up your sleeves. That's the first thing you have to do. Next, get your toilet bowl brush and you are going to push the bowl water down the chute to expose more of the bowl for a more thorough clean. The way that you do this, you're kind of like shoving all that water down the chute a la sword fighting. You'll see that the bowl is now exposed. You can spray or treat that area with whatever product you're using and then scrub it and flush it. It'll fill back up to its regular level, but you will get a much more effective and efficient toilet bowl clean that way. One tip I want to give you if you notice that your towels are stinky is you can do a 2-cycle fix. The first thing you're going to do, you're not going to use any detergent. The first thing you're going to do is launder using a vinegar only load. So you're gonna pop a cup of vinegar into the load itself, and then you can pour vinegar in all of the compartments as well. It can be the pre-wash, it can be the detergent, it can be the fabric softener. Just go to town with vinegar. Once that cycle is done, you can do a second cycle, but this time you're gonna put a cup of baking soda into the washing machine. Directly into the drum, not into any of the detergent compartments. And what this is going to do is to further help deodorize. So the vinegar kind of helps break down any deposits from detergent, any of the dinginess. It helps a bit with the odors. And the baking soda is like the 2 of the 1-2 punch. So do that cycle, the 2 cycles, then pop the towels in your dryer, make sure they're nice and dry, and they will come out fluffy and smelling great. When you walk into a kitchen, if you see a dirty sink, it just kind of sets the tone for the rest of the kitchen. So I always like to make sure that my sink is clean. That means that it's shiny, dry, and there's nothing in that little drain catcher. So the way that I do this, of course, you gotta empty it out, load up the dishwasher, or wash your dishes. The next thing to do, I sprinkle some baking soda in there. That way you get that extra abrasion so that you can really kind of scrape off anything that's ground into the sink, whether it's dirt or oil, without actually ruining the sink. I also throw a little bit of dish soap in there. The dish soap really helps to lift grease. That's the whole purpose why we use soap. And then I use a double-sided sponge. I use the scrubby side, and I just kind of start my way at the top and swirl down to the bottom, and then I finish up in the drain and that drain catcher, and then I crank the hot water, kind of hose everything down. I have that removable head from the top of my faucet, super helpful in this case. And the clincher is to take a microfiber cloth and buff that sink dry. The combination of the baking soda, the sponge, the hot water, and then buffing it